wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.
So we have one show last week where everything was kind of bunched up and a little bit confusing. And well, it's me, it's my life. So, everything is always a little bit bunched up, a little bit confusing, but everything was a little off kilter, everything. This week, we are packed with great stuff. The first thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to bring back the Goddess of the Grape. One of my dearest friends, Stephanie Simoes, and we're bringing in one of the and when I say this is a personal mission for me, because I've got a dear friend who's taking care of a shaken baby, and she's a great friend of mine. Matter of fact, my son is her brother, so you can even call her family. Okay, so we have, like I said, this one is very, very special to me. We've got Darcia Phillips from Stop Shaken Baby Syndrome. Okay. Please share this out, because this is a mission that desperately needs your help. The little QR code right here, as you guys well know, anytime that you buy a bottle of wine throughout the month of November, money goes to Stop Shaken Baby Syndrome. So it's a great thing. Hey, I've got a personal message that I need to send to Amy and Dan McCarthy. I want to thank you so very much for your awesome donation of so much items, so many kitchen items. And I know it came from a very, very difficult situation. Amy, I know that your father passed away, and our condolences, but the donations are going to go to great use. It's people like this, folks, that help us help others, and we need you to keep going, because it was so wonderful. Just everything that you do, anytime that you donate to us, we try to put it into the hands of people who need it. So we also want to make one more announcement that our friends at Project Die Hard have a Kickstart or GoFundMe, sorry. And it looks like a Kickstarter program campaign that they could really use your help. Fog Rush is way behind, folks. We need to get this thing running, all right? This is for the life and death of our veterans. Okay, this is going to help them out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go to projectdiehard.org. Check it out. It's a great program. It's a faith-based program that is all about, it's not just about, hey, we're going to put you in a house and leave you alone. No, you need help with counseling. We're going to give you counseling. You need help with clothing. We're going to give you clothing. You need help trying to build a resume. This is an all-inclusive project that they're going to help put our veterans back together again. We've said it before. An 18-year-old kid walks into the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, Marines, the Coast Guard, whatever. They take away that 18-year-old kid, everything that was there about them, and they create them into what they need them to be. And they're not doing a good enough job shaping them back into who they were before. Let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to put this into the chat. That way, when it comes, when you're watching this replay, you can just go directly to it. So, but you will see in the chat right now, it's going to start popping up. Just go and visit them. All right, enough of me talking, because me talking is annoying. I know I have to listen to it all day. I am so proud and so happy to bring back our Goddess of the Grape, Stephanie Simoes. Hey, Stephanie, how are you?
Hey, Zach. I'm excited to be here. How are you?
I'm thrilled to be here because, like I said, they're all important. Every single one of them are important, but this one is, like I said, Darcia, believe it or not, was on my first podcast. And so she's coming back in, and she's got a message that is unbelievably important. And so saying that, I'd like to introduce everybody from Stop Shaken Baby Syndrome, Darcia Phillips. How are you doing, Darcia?
Hi, Zach. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Can you tell us a little? Well, don't tell us a little. Tell us a lot about Stop Shaken Baby Syndrome. How
Okay.
big of a problem is Shaken Babies syndrome?
Shaken baby syndrome is a very big problem. It's not normally talked about in my area, especially. It's swept under the carpet a lot. You don't see it publicized on the news. You don't see it in the papers very much. The only time people really talk about it is when a child dies. I would say probably about half of the cases that you see of infant, young children being abused is actually shaken baby. And in those cases, 1 in 4 of the children will die immediately after injuries.
The ones that don't die, the damages that can be done are horrific. What are some of the main injuries sustained by these young babies?
Many of the injuries vary from case to case. Some children present with just brain bleeds, retinal hemorrhaging, which is bleeding behind the eyes, which doesn't damage the eye itself, but damage the vessels, which communicate from the eye to the brain. And those children end up with a blindness called cortical visual impairment, and they can never see. They'll see color, sometimes a little bit of shadow and shape, but their vision is gone. They can learn to use what vision they have left, but it's never going to be like yours or mine. Glasses don't always help it. There's no surgery to fix it. And that's just one of the biggest complications with it. Many children suffer from seizures. Children will end up with cerebral palsy, which can be from very mild to very severe. Other children will have problems where they can't sit again, they can't roll over, they can't speak, they can't swallow, they can't breathe on their own, they can't eat. There are so many complications that come along with this, all because they were shaken. In the long term, children spend time in the hospital. That varies as to how much time they spend, depending on the severity. Some kids can only be there for a couple of weeks, some months. It depends on, like I said, the severity of the abuse. Other children come home and they have no disabilities per se, but then as they hit school age, there's problems with learning. They become behavioral issues. Some kids have social issues where they don't understand social cues and they can't tell if somebody's being truthful and honest or have negative effects towards them, like if they want to bully them or if they want to trip them in to do something that they shouldn't do just to see them get hurt. It's very wide range as to what could happen. There are those cases where some children will come through it and have no problem at all, but those cases are so small that you would never know. Most of the time, though, you have a lot of therapy that's required between speech therapy, feeding therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, vision therapy. There's a lot that goes into it.
The sad fact is that you said long or long term. A lot of these kids don't have long-term lives, do they?
No, in the many cases, it's really dependent on how severe they were abused. The more severe the abuse, the shorter their life expectancy is going to be. About half of the children that survive do not live into adulthood. My own sister did not live into adulthood. She died at the age of 7. In our community, we have lost children as young as 2 to 3 years of age. They did survive for that short period of time, but they did not have the quality of life like the normal 2 to 3 year old child would have had, because they had to fight for the basic things like to be able to breathe, to be able to eat, to maintain their own weight, things like this, which anybody else would take for granted. I have a healthy, happy baby here. The next minute, they're fighting for their life, and I'm bringing home a baby that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them to eat, to maintain their weight, to grow, to make it to the next milestone, which is where it really hurts, because the child was perfectly fine and now they're not. And it all comes down to whoever they were with, and that just got so overwhelmed that something happened and the baby got hurt. And in most cases, it's the baby was picked up and held by the ribs and they were shaken and the head went back and forth. And because babies' necks aren't strong, the brain bounces back and forth in the skull, and that's where the bleeding comes from. And as we know, the brain is a lot of things, and you never know what's going to happen. And most
These
cases,
aren't these. No, go ahead, please. I'm sorry I interrupted.
Most cases, people do not seek medical treatment right away after the event. Some cases, they wait days, sometimes weeks. The quicker the treatment is sought, could very well change the outcome. But again, nobody really wants to admit, I lost it, this happened, and they don't think to seek treatment. It's not until the baby stops eating or becomes blue, starts having seizures, or stops moving that they're like, okay, something's majorly wrong. We need to get in to the doctor or the hospital to see what happened.
And these people aren't always, look, this is a terrible, terrible thing that we're talking about here, but these aren't always bad people. This isn't always the people that you see on cops wearing the mullet and the wife beater and stuff like this. This isn't exclusive to anyone, is it?
No, there's been cases where it's happened to the rich. There's been cases where it's been politicians that had their children abused. So money's not a factor, age is not a factor, ethnicity isn't a factor, race, gender. There's no one factor to say that this is for one demographic. It happens all across the map. The studies and the research shows that more often than not, it's a male that does inflict the injuries, but that percentage isn't terribly high for that. It's not going to be that. It could be a female. It could be the child's mother. It could be the child's aunt, grandmother. Like, you never know. And it's all because the baby's crying, the baby's inconsolable, and somebody that's taking care of that child just can't handle it. And instead of putting the baby down and acknowledging this is overwhelming, I need to step back for a minute, they lose it. And when they lose it, the child gets injured. What they need to do is realize that I need a break. I'm going to put this baby down in the crib, make sure the crib is safe for them. There's nothing they can get hurt on the whole bit. Just put the child down, walk out of the room. You're still close by, say 2 to 3 minutes, take a breather, have a drink of coffee, whatever you need to do, and then go back in and say if you're calm enough to deal with the child. And then what you do is, if you're not, you're like, okay, the baby's still crying, it's not quite as bad, I'm going to walk away for another 2 or 3 minutes. And then go back in. And if you're still not feeling that way, what you need to do is pick up your phone, call your friend, your neighbor, your grandmother, anybody, and say, listen, my baby's crying right now. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's wrong. I'm struggling to figure this out. I need help. Somebody will answer their phone and talk to you to calm you down, to say, okay, try this, try that. And if there's still a problem, put the baby in the car seat, take the baby to the nearest doctor, the emergency room, somewhere, but just think rationally, or try to think rationally, and ask for help. There's no shame in asking for help.
You and I did talk about this earlier, because we said that it's going to be one of those things that you're going to have that thought, well, I can't put my baby down and walk away because the baby's crying. That could be a deadly, deadly decision. It's not society's answer to put your baby down and let your baby cry it out, but it's damn sure not society's decision or plan for you to pick up that baby, shake it, harm it for what little life it's going to have left, or even kill it, is it?
No.
So,
and what people don't realize is it's okay to admit that you need help, that the crying is bothering you. We can't do it alone. There are times that even your own mother.
Uh-oh. I lost her. Did you lose her? We lost your sound.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, we lost you with just a little bit ago. So, but it's okay if
it's okay to put a baby down and walk away, and that because nobody's gonna say, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? You're doing everything you can to keep yourself and your baby safe. It's okay. You need to just take that breather and make the conscious decision that, okay, it may not be what everybody else would do, but I need to do this so that I'm okay and so the baby's okay. Because let me tell you, raising a baby that has been severely abused is not easy. You're going to have so many challenges later down the road, and you're going to be like, all this happened because of one incident. You need to realize that you are in control. And if that means that you have to step away, and even if that means you have to pick up the phone and call and ask somebody to come and help you, there's no shame in that. And I think that's one of the problems with society is they put a lot of this on the person with the baby. You have to be able to do it all. But you know what? We can't always do it all. We have to have somebody there that is going to be able to say, okay, I see that you're struggling. I see that you're having this problem. Let's try this. If this doesn't work, let's try that. And then go from there. But I'm telling you, it's really, there's no child has ever died from crying. Putting the baby down is really the best thing you can do until you can calm yourself down, or the baby calms down, or you can get somebody there to help you.
You did mention that you've been personally touched by shaken baby syndrome. You and I, our conversation earlier, you were talking about when Stop Shaken Baby Syndrome fell into your pathway. You were excited to join because it was something that obviously you've had a long struggle with. What are some of the things that Stop Shaken Baby? What is your mission? What are you guys looking to accomplish?
Our goal is to help the families however we can. Right now, we have several things that we're doing. I spearheaded a program to make toys accessible for children that cannot use their hands. They use a switch to activate the toys. It's called Switch It Up. I've been running that for about 2 years now. And that I have a annual Apparel for iPads campaign, which we design a t-shirt, but it's more than a t-shirt. You could get sweaters, hoodies, the whole bit. And that we do that every year. And then all the money we raise from that goes to buying iPads for children who are victims of shaken baby. And those iPads can help with communication, speech, homework, division. There's so many things that you can do with an iPad in your hands, but so many people cannot afford that iPad. So we do that. I have a program that I'm still trying to get everything off the floor called the Sweet Pea Project, where we're going to do gift bags for new parents. And they're going to get a baby hat. They're going to get our brochure. They're going to get a booklet on how to spot the main reasons the baby cries, how to cope with the crying, and that they're going to get a story with each bag that has a child that was shaken to see where that child's life went. Some of those stories will be of children that survived. Some will be of stories where the children did not survive. There are so many other things that we want to do, but we haven't gotten to that part yet. One of the big things that families struggle with is accessibility. They need equipment to get their kids out of the house. Wheelchairs are often denied through insurance, which makes no sense because if a child cannot walk, they need a wheelchair to get around. But more often than not, it is denied through insurance. You're only allowed to get a wheelchair every 5 years with insurance. In 5 years, a lot of things can happen. And to get approval with insurance is a real fight. There's people that require lifts in the house to move their kids from their bedroom into the bathroom to be able to give them a bath. There are people that need a ramp to get their kids from inside the house to their vehicle to get them to their appointments or school or community events. Then, of course, once you get them out of the house, you need a vehicle to transport them. Not all parents have a vehicle that is wheelchair accessible. So there's so many things we'd like to do, but we also know that it's going to be down the line. So we're trying to come up with ways to fundraise, to bring about education and the whole bit so that we can get to these points. My goal is to eventually make it so that this is not a taboo thing to speak about, so that people realize that they can and should seek help when they're frustrated for their child crying, and that there's no shame in asking for help. As I've said many times, put the baby down, walk away, make a phone call. It could very well save their life. It could save your life. There's no shame in it. And I think through education and support of your community, we could get there. It's going to take time to build that, but we could get there.
This is one of those things that when you and I keep referring to our conversation earlier, but we made the statement that, you know what, you and I are talking, and now we've brought in Stephanie, and now we're going to tell somebody else. And this is what you guys really need. We need to get the exposure for Stop Shaken Baby Syndrome out, because one of the worst things about being in a nonprofit is not, nobody knows. And so trying to spread this word is something that is very vital, is it not?
It is. And every April, what I do is I share stories from our support groups in our community of actual victims that were shaken. Their parents put together their story. Shh, I'm on the phone. Oh. Sorry about that. And we share pictures and stories and the whole bit so that it's out there. People are talking about it. They're seeing firsthand what's happening. And that, which I think is also important, that the more that you're told about it, the more you're aware of it, the less likely it is for you to say, this doesn't happen. This doesn't exist.
The shirts that you were talking about, and then Stephanie, I'd like for you to jump in and ask any questions. The shirts that you were talking about have a very, very special design. Can you tell us about that?
The design we did this year is a scroll, and it has on the front, it says the word survivor, and it has the names, over 200 names of surviving children who were shaken. And that, and on the back, what we do is we dedicate it to the angels, the children who have passed. And the language on the shirts are kind of in your face at times, but the message is clear with it. Let's see if I could pull it up on my phone here to share with you.
Actually, you know what? I might be able to do something. I'm going to let me see if I can find it. Our mutual friend sent me a picture of it, and let me see if I can find it here. Oops. The first picture I saw was the one that of our singing cinnamon rolls that I created. But here we go. Here is a picture.
Oh, yes, that's the front of our shirt. This year I had
Oh.
over 280 children's names put in. The front of the shirt is our survivors, as I have said. The back of it shows a picture of an angel, and there are 40 names on that of children who have passed throughout the years. Some recently, some not so recent, and their names are all on the back. Now, this is just a small amount of the children in the community who have been affected, because there have been thousands, and no amount of fabric will ever pull that many names.
Yeah. Stephanie, please jump in.
Well, I'll say I've had chills since she started talking. Wow, powerful. So I am a mom of 4. And, just hearing you speak on this, first of all, I didn't know there was a name for this like this. However, I love that you're bringing this topic to light, because I think, it's really important for people to know that when you do have a baby, you go through things when you come home. It's a complete life change. Your hormones are all over the place. Your body is making changes. You're trying to feed a screaming child at all hours of the night, and then society pushes their things on you, and people ask you all the questions. Well, are you nursing? Are you bottle feeding? Are you this? Are you that? And it's, and then top that with a screaming baby that you're not sure how to console yet. And it does get overwhelming, and I get it. But I love your message on, just put the baby down, let the baby cry a little bit. It's okay. And it's funny. It kind of brings me back to a time with my grandmother, with my first son, when I put him down and I was like, no, it's bedtime. And she was like, but we don't let the babies cry. And I'm like, oh no, we're going to let him cry. He's going to fall asleep. And this is how we're sleep training him, So, different style, I guess, different time, but, I can totally relate, because every child I've had has been completely different. My daughter had horrible reflux very early on. She was 2 weeks old and projectiling bottles across the room. And she was a twin. So imagine that. I had 3 kids under the age of 2 all at one time. My older one was 16 and a half months old when the twins were born. So totally can relate to the overwhelm. But it is so important to seek out help when you need it, even if it's paid help, even if there's nobody local to you that's family, that can step in and support. It is really important to give yourself that minute, that break, that hot cup of tea or coffee, and take a deep breath. So thank you so much for sharing all of that. I still have chills and I'm honored to be a part of this show and be able to help you guys fundraise this month. So.
Well, Darcia, why don't you go on ahead and tell us, how did they get a hold of you?
We are reachable through our Facebook page. We are I have it in the link there. It's simply, if you go on this Facebook and you type in Stop Shaking Baby Syndrome, it'll pull up our business page. We have a website. It's www.stopshakingbabysyndromeinc.org. We can be reached through email, which is accessible through the website, or you can just send us a message at stopsbs1@yahoo.com. We also offer a monthly newsletter, which anybody can access. It comes to your email, your inbox, the first of every month, and it tells you who we are, what we're doing, updates on our projects. It gives you a story of one of our children. Then we have an interview with the parents. So I ask a couple of different questions, and they give their answers for perspective for those reading, so they get a glimpse of the day-to-day, if you would, of what it's like to care for a child who was shaken. That's basically how you can reach us.
Well, we will make sure to attach all of those links to the page, our event page. And when we do that, they're going to be able to reach out and get a hold of you. So I greatly appreciate it. We're going to move this wonderful show over to Stephanie now to do her part. Darcia, you're more than welcome to stick around. If you have to leave, we completely understand. But I want to personally thank you so very much for coming back and to the show and telling the story. Because again, everything that you've said is something that a young parent needs to hear. This is, look, babies are wonderful, but they're frustrating.
They're wonderful, but they could be a handful, and they can make you want to pull your hair out. And there's, as I say all the time, there's no shame in admitting that you're overwhelmed. There's no shame in saying, I can't do this. I need the break. I know if my neighbor came to me and said, my baby's crying, can you take it for a couple of minutes so that I can walk even down the street, take a walk around the block or whatever? Can you sit with the baby so that I can do this? In a heartbeat. It's
amazing. It's amazing who you can find to help you out. But if you don't reach out, nobody knows that there's a problem. So, but Darcia, again, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you. And we're going to do our best to do everything that we can to make sure that that we can prevent and support everything that you guys do. So I'm looking forward to a long relationship with Stop Shaking Baby Syndrome, and I wish you all the best. So please stick around, or if you've got to go, we completely understand.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. All right, Stephanie, it's your show. Follow that.
I cannot top that. That what they're doing is powerful, and that message is powerful, and I'm just happy to be a part of this show this month. So thank you, Zach. Thank you. So I'll dive in case we have some guests that are watching that have not seen our partnership before. My name is Stephanie Simoes. I'm a cause entrepreneur with One Hope Wine. We are an award-winning Napa Valley winery that gives back with each bottle of wine. So what I do is I specialize in fundraising, gifting, private wine events, and wine delivery. It's the month of giving, you guys. Did you just hear this whole talk on shaken baby syndrome? My goodness, I feel like I learned a lot too, because I didn't realize there was a term. But what I really wanted to do, Zach, was dive into some pairings tonight.
Well, let's do this real quick, and can you give us the rundown of this, please?
Absolutely. So the QR code that is there will take you right to the One Hope campaign for shaken baby syndrome. If you open up your camera on your phone and hold it up to that QR code, it's going to prompt you to go to a One Hope Wine link, and that is the direct fundraising page. We also have included on the bottom there the direct link if you want to just go ahead and type it in. onehopewine.com/event/140761 if you would like to type it right in. You can also always join us on our virtual event page on Facebook. If you type in Community Pay It Forward, One Hope Fundraiser, you can follow us along on our monthly campaigns there each month and see the different causes that we are highlighting for that month, as well as some seasonal recipes, pairings, fun new releases, and things like that too.
Well, like I said, this was phenomenal. It's a terrible story, but it's a beautiful, what they're doing with it is beautiful. So now, yes, let's do this. One of my favorite things in the world. Let's talk about, come on.
I know you want to talk to
guy.
Dessert.
I'm the fat guy, so let's do it this way. All right, I'm going to try to find them as you ask for them. So if you want to do them in order, we can do that.
Yeah, we can totally do that. I do have an update for you though, Zach. So I mentioned that with One Hope Wine, right? And we do have a recent update. So we are a cause-centered winery out of Napa. So what I said was every single bottle of wine that we sell gives back. Just announced, we have now donated over $9 million to date, locally and globally, to over 35,000 different nonprofit organizations. So wanted to share that here. First, this is the first campaign that I'm sharing that on, which is amazing. So let's dive right in. Let's not wait. Let's dive right in. I know Jackie's getting hungry looking at these. Looking at these pairings. So let's do some Turkey Day dessert pairings, and hopefully we will. All right. Is that what we're going with first?
I can't remember which one was first. So, no, it wasn't the Shimmer bottle, was it? It was.
Yep, it's that one. Perfect. You found it. The Chardonnay. So our first, and we have a few to highlight. So hopefully we will kind of touch upon your favorite wines, your favorite, picks for the holiday season when it comes to pies and desserts. So a good old-fashioned pumpkin pie commonly is filled with flavors of nutmeg, cinnamon, and vanilla, which blend beautifully with the bold and enticing flavors of our elegant Sonoma Coast Reserve Chardonnay. For an extra rich tidbit to complement the flavors, top your pie with a homemade whipped cream, a zesty yet sweet addition to your Thanksgiving dessert table. So pumpkin pie and Sonoma Coast Chardonnay is our first pairing of the evening. Let's go, Zach. Let's talk some more. I know I like pumpkin pie, though. I think that I lean towards that even more than apple this time of the year. What do you think?
Oh, you know what? It's kind of funny. I see like the coffees and everything that comes out, the pumpkin spice donuts and all these things, and I'm like, ugh. But I see a pumpkin pie, and I am like a kid in a candy store. I will eat. I love pumpkin pie. I don't drink coffee though, anyway. So, but just to let everybody know, Pinot Noir.
Is that Pinot Noir? Yum, delicious. Is it room temp or did you chill it? Just curious.
I chilled it. I prefer it. Yeah.
Yes. No, actually, Pinot Noir is one of the wines that our head winemaker Mari says can be served chilled. In fact, she says keep it in the fridge. When you're about to make your table for Thanksgiving, take it out of the fridge, put it on there, set the table, get ready to eat. It's going to be the perfect temp when you dive in and start eating some turkey. So speaking of Pinot Noir, and cheers, Zach, I have water in my glass, but I'll cheers to you.
Hey, you know what? But we're going to raise a glass to a great cause right now.
We are. Pinot Noir is actually a delicious selection for turkey if that's your go-to for Thanksgiving. And we have different collections of Pinot Noir on the website that you can totally check out. All right, let's dive into this Thankful for You Sparkling Brut and apple pie. Yum. Let me just say yum first. So our Thankful for You Sparkling Brut abounds with a nose of freshly baked brioche and flavors of white pear on the palate. Its crisp acidity makes it the perfect pairing alongside a mostly sweet but little bit sour classic apple pie. Plus, the crispness of the bubbles will help you cut through the pie's buttery crust. To enhance the apple flavors of your pairing, add a splash of apple cider to your flute alongside your bubbles. So, cheers to that. I like apple cider.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Getting into the flavors of the season.
Whoa, what happened there? I don't know.
I think we lost it. That's okay. Yeah, so the third one down, Zach. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Awesome. All right. So
people are going to see our messages back and forth.
Oh, no. Nothing to hide there, you guys. I promise. Just sent some really delicious pictures. I gave him a sneak peek earlier and he started drooling, a few hours ago. So I'm excited that we're sharing this now. I don't know about you. I put in my pie order with our local farm here. I'm excited to sample all the things this holiday. All right. This is kind of a sneak peek and a hint to what's coming. So pecan pie and our Amador County Zinfandel, which is launching next week. Hint, hint. Oh. So aged for 10 months in French and American oak, our new Amador County Zinfandel, which is launching next week, bursts with sensational flavors of black raspberry, tart cherry, vanilla, and spice. The grapes come from the highly acclaimed Shake Ridge Vineyard, an organically farmed ranch in Amador County. a region that is renowned for its high-quality Zinfandel. This elevated and full-bodied wine is perfect for an elegant affair and pairs well with a slice of nutty, rich, and caramelized pecan pie. There are a wide variety of pecan pie variations out there, but rest assured that this Zinfandel will work beautifully with them all. So cheers to that. That's a little hint there to a new release that's coming.
I haven't ever tried a Zinfandel. What you were saying is it sounds like it might be a little bit of a fruity taste, does it? Or is it more on the
it's a bolder wine. So
okay.
Yes, fruit, but I don't think it's in the way that you're expecting with your palate based on what I've observed.
So it doesn't taste like a Kool-Aid that's going to make you go,
Not like a Kool-Aid, more for a refined palate that is, a little bit more experienced with reds and reserves. It's more of a bolder wine. I'm not saying that you shouldn't explore with your taste buds, though, Zach. That's not what I'm suggesting. We're gonna work on you. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'll be a aficionado sometime sooner or later, or I'll just have drank a lot of wine, one of the two. So, our next one, this pie, I'm gonna tap out right now because this one made me lose it. I'm like, I want this now.
Is chocolate cream pie like one of your favorites? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, this is a great pairing. So chocolate cream pie and our Vintner Collection California Red Blend. So this red blend is big and bold with complex berries and cocoa aromas. It's full of depth and richness with dense chocolate cake, making it a strong choice alongside our chocolate cream pie. Although your mind might not initially drift to chocolate cream pie for your Thanksgiving dessert table, there's always a chocolate lover in the crowd, and this award-winning pairing promises to please. So I will say that red blend is what got me introduced to red wines at my start with One Hope. So I will admit, Zach, I wasn't a red wine drinker either.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. I do remember you telling me that.
And that is actually the wine that slowly gave me an introduction. So,
slowly ate away at the reserves, right? So, just as a warning, if you think that I freaked out about the chocolate, this one here, bada bing. Okay, that's all I can say because we're talking blueberry pie here, and I'm sorry, there's not a bigger fan of blueberries in the world than myself. I love blueberry.
I also love this pairing because one of my favorite wines is highlighted here too. So berry pie and our Hospitality Collection Cabernet Sauvignon. So I will say, if you haven't tried our Hospitality Collection, it is incredible. Not only the Cabernet, but also the red blend in the Hospitality Collection are, they're some of my favorites in our lineup. So although berry pie often conjures visions of a summertime barbecue, it's becoming more and more common as a Thanksgiving dessert. It's a delicious end to an indulgent meal, and with its berry sweetness, it begs for a rich Cabernet Sauvignon. Our Hospitality Collection Cabernet is filled with dark berry, violet, and plum aromas with hints of chocolate. The palate is bold and complex with a sumptuous finish, making it the ideal alongside a sublime slice of berry pie. Blueberry, blackberry, mixed berry, the choice is yours. So I know, bring on all the berries this season.
Hey, you know what? There's never been a Thanksgiving or Christmas in our house where we have not had a blueberry pie, and that's because one fat guy would throw a fit. So, that's one of the, it's got to be there. There's got to be a blueberry pie there, and that's just so I can steal it and take it home. Hey, that's part of my gifts. So
yeah, but no, I love that. I'm all about all the desserts,
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. See, we're talking about, we're calling this our dessert pairing. This is main course pairing. That turkey is for the sandwiches tomorrow. This is main course here. So
that's so funny. So funny. So next up is the key lime cream pie and our Vintner Collection California Sauvignon Blanc. So cut through the richness of a Thanksgiving feast and end the night on a fresh and flavor-filled note with a citrus pie and a crisp glass of white. When pairing that citrus pie, go for our Vintner Collection Sauvignon Blanc, delightfully tangy and fresh with plenty of bright tropical notes and citrus-forward flavors. It's ideal alongside a slice of key lime or lemon pie, particularly when the pie has a hint of creaminess to balance out all the citrus. So cheers to that.
I'm not much on key lime, but you said lemon and you know, that gets me. So I really do like the lemon.
Yeah.
And our last pairing here, we've got,
last one is strawberry rhubarb pie.
Okay.
Our Italian Prosecco. So I know this time of year, a lot of people really like the bubbles. Bubbles are highlighted a lot, over the next few months. So the Prosecco is definitely one of those favorites.
There's that one holiday that's all about the bubbles. I can't remember.
I will say 33% was the statistic I last heard with One Hope. 33% of the wine we sell is bubbly. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
if you can imagine that, it's a big percentage, right? Yeah. So bring on the bubbles. A festive Thanksgiving dessert. The strawberry rhubarb pie looks lovely sitting on the dessert table and tastes lovely too. A tantalizing balance of sweet meets tart. This pie pairs well with the bubbles of our Italian Prosecco. This balanced and fruity Prosecco is made from Galera grapes and offers pleasing aromas of fresh pear and hints of apple with a touch of sweetness. So, we talked about 7 different pairings, you guys. Are you ready to get pie pairing? Order your wines, start prepping for your sweet dessert feast, and support Stop Shaken Baby Syndrome, because that's what we're here for tonight.
That's right. That's what we're here for. And once again, you know what? This is the most important flyer that you will see on this day. I'm just going to flat out guarantee it, because this is such a great mission. Look, this is a personal note to everyone out there. I do know a child. I do know a family that has taken over a shaken baby. And I'm going to tell you something. There is a lot of hospital visits. There's a lot of hospital times. There's a lot of seizures, feed bags, stuff like this, stuff that Stephanie, as you said, prior to meeting this family, I've heard of babies being shaken, but I've never seen the result. And if I've seen the result, it's kind of one of those things that you think, well, maybe that baby has got a little bit of retardation or something like that. And you don't realize, because of a momentary frustration, this child almost lost its life and probably will lose its life. Stop Shaken Baby Syndrome is something that I'm hoping that you all really, really consider helping us right now. As Stephanie has said, this is the time, this is the season of giving. And we beg of you to please join us and help. And it's very simple. Guess what? You've got 2 very important family holidays coming up. What's better to show up to a family holiday with a bottle of wine? You want to make it very special? You can make it a shimmer bottle. You can add a box that's personalized for your family. Make it a gift. Come on, bosses. This is one of those times where giving gifts is a great thing to do. One Hope Wines, this is one way that you can take and you can utilize what we are doing by introducing you to a great mission like Stop Shaken Baby Syndrome. And you can do so much good with it. So we're going to ask you to please consider what we're asking here, and let's stop Shaken Baby Syndrome. So, Stephanie, as always, I know that today you've got to rush off a little bit quicker than we like you to, but I would spend every show with you if I could. It's one of my favorite things. So we are going to be doing something a little bit different. Our next show is going to be the Friday before Thanksgiving. Instead of doing it the Wednesday, the night before Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. We're going to do it the Friday before Thanksgiving because we're going to give you the update on where we stand. We're going to bring in some. We'll maybe ask Darcia to bring in some stories and give us some real life stories on some of these shaken babies. The one thing that I would also like to ask you to do before I let you go is, if you want the monthly newsletter, you can sign up by using this BIT code here, and we will share this online on our page. We will get this out there to where you can link straight to it and you can get the newsletter. Okay, every cause that we've had on here is so vital, so very important. This is the first one that we've had where we're talking about a child that might not grow up. Okay, so let's really think about what we're doing here. Let's really bring some emphasis on this. My dear, you are so wonderful. It is such a pleasure to work with you. Thank you very much. I cannot wait to talk to you again in about a week and a half, and let's keep this going. Oh, and by the way, congratulations on 9 million from Community Pay It Forward. I cannot wait until we join you. I've always told people, if it's in the cards, I cannot wait to become a millionaire, because we give away 80% of everything that comes in. And if I become a millionaire, imagine how many people we've helped. And that's the one thing that I can say about this, because if it is. And again, just real quick, remember this code's good for Stop Shaking Baby all the time, correct?
It's going to be up for a while. Yeah. So they'll be able to, at least for the next month, be able to support there. But please don't hesitate to reach out if there's something you're passionate about, whether it's Stop Shaking Baby Syndrome or a cause that we've had on here prior, and you want to order to support them. Reach out to me. I'm happy to make that happen.
Well, thank you, my dear. Enjoy your next meeting. Sorry to keep you, but I look forward to talking to you soon. So
always great seeing you, Zach.
Yep. Well, cheers. Let's
Cheers.
raise a glass to a great cause, and that's what we're doing. That's beautiful water. Ugh, that stuff will kill you. There ought to be liquor in it. All right. Thank you to our goddess of the Grape Stephanie
Have a good
Simoes.
night, everyone.
All right, goodbye. Once again, that's Stephanie Simoes, goddess of the grape. One Hope Wines, just fantastic. She does so much to help us out, and it is so appreciated all the time. I want to put this up here again because this is a website that you immediately feel the impact, because the first thing you see are children that have been shaken on this website. And it's gonna put a lump in your throat, okay? Because these are kids who have been hurt by, a lot of times, once again, they're not bad people. They were frustrated. It came in a moment of just a momentary action, and it's going to change a child's life forever. Okay, so Darcia said it. Put the baby down. Put him in the crib. The crib's not going to hurt him. Put the baby down. Walk away for a minute. Take a breath. Go take a couple deep breaths, and just remember that shaking a baby is, it's like stepping on an egg. It's very, damaging. Okay. And again, me seeing the end results, this is important, because this kid, I watch this kid fight all the time, and the next thing I know, this kid's back in the hospital. So there are a lot of people out there, and this is one of the reasons why a lot of the other missions that we have talked to when it comes to care providers, this is one of the things that they do, and that's another one of the reasons why they are so important when it comes to trying to take care of care providers, because this is stuff that they deal with, all of these injuries. So please remember, don't shake your baby. We're going to be right back. We're going to talk to we're not going to talk to him actually, because we've already talked to him, but we're going to be bringing on Al Patrick on how you can help us with Community Dare to Care. Okay. Community Dare to Care needs your help. I announced last week we may have to shut Community Dare to Care down. Community Dare to Care, folks, is too important. We offer free clothing, free outreach, free help to people who need it. Amy and Dan Hardy, two of the people that they've donated multiple times to help us out. They understand what we're doing. They understand what we're trying to do. There's so many people we can help with your help. And we're going to be back and talking to Al Patrick, how you can help us keep it going right after a couple of these messages. Yeah, so that one was a little late. I probably should have played that before I played the interview with Al, but hey, I still got it in there. Please, 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 please remember, we are not about promoting drinking. We are about promoting fundraising. There is nothing wrong with being an adult and having an adult beverage or two. Okay. But if you have a problem, please seek help. If you need help trying to find help, we offer our services to try to find the right help for you. 970-909-0751. 970-909-0751. Please drink responsibly. So I want to once again, you know what? Al mentioned it. I mentioned it there. Amy and Dan McCarty, two of the people who, like I said, multiple times they've donated stuff to us, and somebody downsizes, and we get this quite often. Somebody downsizes, and we get some of the furniture that they had, some of the housewares that they had, and this is great because we're able to offer these to people who need these things. A young couple starting out and they don't really have anything. Well, this is a chance for us to go on ahead and offer them something, and offer them the things that they need to get started, and it doesn't cost them anything. As I said in there, I'm not one who likes to go shopping. I'm not any good at it. I bounce around all the time and sitting there and get bored and start looking at the ceiling and counting my shoelaces, and I do all kinds of weird things. But anyway, hey, I wanted to bring up a very, very important point. Last week, I had, one of my really, really good friends, Chad, on with us, and from biocentric.com. And you can find Chad right now on the website. If you go on to the website, communitypayitforward.us, and you wait for 8 seconds, our interview is going to pop up and you're going to get to talk to him. We were talking about a measure here in Colorado, 122. Okay, made it very clear. I was for it. It's for medicinal mushrooms. And I wanted to make a point, okay? And I wanted to make sure that people understand that I'm not one who am going to tell you, drugs are good, drugs are bad, okay, whatever that is. I'm not the one who's going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you it's for everybody, because it's not. Okay? It's truly, truly not. And I'm not going to tell you that it's right for anyone. It's a personal choice. But there are some facts that have been found that these mushrooms can be helpful to people. Autism, not just autism, but what am I trying to think of? But just overall memory loss. Alzheimer's is what I was looking for. Seizures, stuff like that. There's an ingredient in these mushrooms that is very helpful to people. There's an article that I found today, and that's where all of this is going. I'm not trying to rehash something. Last I saw the last I saw, and it's been a minute. It was positive. It was a yes, as it was going to be passed, but it was very, very close. So, I'm not counting chickens or doing anything like that. But this article right here is an article that tells some of the advantages of mushrooms, what it's good for, what they're good for, what they can do, who they can help. So I'm going to say that if you want to know a little bit more about it, please check it out. As you can hear the music of my wife's phone in the background right now. No, okay, that's it. I was talking over her phone, so I just decided to stop talking and let that entertain you for a minute. But yeah, your phone was ringing, dear. But anyway, yeah, mushrooms. Once again, I'm not sitting here saying everyone ought to do them. If you feel like they can be positive, I think it's great. They're not talking about just being able to walk off, walking off the street, walking up to a counter, purchasing mushrooms, going out and getting high. That's not what this bill's about. This bill's about using professionals like Chad, who has training to use these mushrooms in a positive way to try to help people. Again, there are so many things that so many ways it can help people. This link right here on the bottom, there's a great story that that tells you a lot of the science behind it. So what I was saying was not pro-drug. Again, this was one of those shows that we were talking about drugs and alcohol, and I'm like going, geez, man, people must think I'm a real lush. It's not what this is about. It is about, look, if it's going to help, we need to use it. There's no chemicals attached to it. It's not created. It's grown. Okay. It grows naturally from the ground. It grows. They don't add things. They don't add chemicals like they do some of the other drugs. All right. You're not going to find somebody sitting there with gasoline and fertilizer. Well, I guess maybe fertilizer, but that's to, grow it. But it's not mixed in a vat and shaken, and you got to wear the gas mask and you got to be very careful. It's a mineral. I mean, it's a vegetable is what it is. So, but again, if you would like to learn a little bit more about what they can do, and I'm not trying to force you into wanting to, I'm not wanting to change your mind. I'm just giving you a chance to read a little bit about it. Right here is the story. You can go to it. It is now in the chat. You can take a look at it and you can understand a little bit more about what I'm talking about. They do help people. Studies have shown that they help people. Of course, you're going to get your naysayers that are going to say, no, they don't help people. They don't do nothing. Sorry, but you're wrong. There is science behind it. This weekend is the finally 5th annual Chili Cook-Off book drive and poker for pediatrics. We still need players. We need cooks. We need chilies. We need other items. We need auction items. We need door prizes. We need people to come in and eat chili. Do you know anybody who can eat chili? I think you do. We need people to come and support us, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to get books into hospitals for kids and adults that is going to give someone a chance to, when you're sitting there in that hospital and you're bored and you can only watch, 32 episodes of CSI before you start going, yes, I've been there. It's going to give you something to do. It's going to be and if you take and you sign your name on the inside, this is from the Clayton family. This is from the Smith family. This is from, Phil's Pro Auto Service. This is from Z World Webs, whatever it is. You sign that in there. You take and you drop it off at your local hospital. They can give it to somebody who's going through a difficult and even scary situation. That's what we're doing. We're also collecting books, our game books and board games for the family rooms. We've got 8 Northern Colorado hospitals, but I will make you this deal. If you make the drive up from Fort Collins, from Colorado Springs, if you make the drive down from Cheyenne, if you make the drive over from Brush or wherever, we will share a portion of the books that we collect with you. This is only fair. Come in, have fun with us, have a great time, eat some wonderful chili, meet some really good people, great environment, watch one really bad football team play, another kind of good football team, but I'm not saying which one. I'm just saying. But come and watch that. Play some poker. But it's time to have some fun again. And it's time to get back to helping people. This is our finally 5th annual, and we are not going to stop. Okay. What we're also looking for is we're looking for people who will want to put up collection boxes in their buildings. And with these collection boxes, we want to continue to, and we are asking you if you are outside the Northern Colorado area. I don't care if you're in Los Angeles, New York, Texas, wherever, Canada, doesn't matter. If you're in an area, you can put up a collection box. Let's do this. Let's do this together. Put up a collection box, take in books, have the people sign the inside cover of the books. This is from my family to you, leave the name blank, collect these books. Let's take them into hospitals, not for the purpose of Christmas, the holidays, whatever you want to say, not for that purpose, but for all year long. We want to make sure that these are available for whenever they need them. Okay. We also want to make this point very, very clear, because I know that I've been questioned about this. These books we are collecting not for the Children's Hospital. There is a reason for that. Again, I love Children's Hospital. Children's Hospital saved my father's life. I have spent more time at Children's Hospital visiting kids who are in difficult situations situations, and I have some great friends who are in the children's hospital all the time with their little warriors. Okay, I support the children's hospital with all my heart, but people always collect for children's hospital. Our children should not be forgotten when they're not sick enough to need the children's hospital. That's the only reason why we're not aiming at the children's hospital. We are aiming for the everyday hospital, the one right down the street from you. We are also taking in books for adults because we know, look, hospitals suck no matter what age you are. They suck. I'm a veteran of a hospital stay. I've been there once or twice, and they are no fun whatsoever. Well, unless, of course, you like being stabbed with, needles and stuff. But let's collect books from some of our partners. We've got a wonderful book, written by a gentleman in Fort Collins, Mike Barron, called Biker. This is definitely not a book that you want to give your 13-year-old, okay? They say a bad word or two in here. One or two, at least. But it's a really good book, okay? Mike Barron has written comics for all the major players, Marvel, DC, written some of the biggest comics in the world. As a matter of fact, if you look here, this right here is a Mike Barron Essential Collection. Look at that. This is one of 3. So, he's been around. Biker is a great series, and every time that you buy an issue of Biker, he will donate to the cause of your choice, to the mission of your choice. So Mike has been a partner of mine for quite a while. He's a great guy. He's been having some health issues lately, and we wish him all the best. But, he's one of the people that, you can really make a difference by checking out some of his stuff, dropping it off, signing the inside, and let's make a difference for these kids. That's coming up this Sunday here, but we're going to be collecting books until the week of Christmas, as I always do. So let's keep this going. Folks, that's about the it. Yep, that's about the it for the night. One glass of wine and I'm done. Not even one glass. Look at that. That's pretty sad. And I used to drink, I think. But anyway, please remember that if you're not helping someone, you're hurting us all. Wait, before I do this, I do want to go back and I want to make one more point. Thank God I do this for a living. Once again, we want to make sure that we mention our great friends at Project Die Hard. They've got a GoFundMe set up for Fob Rush remodel. Okay, we got to get this done, so we need to make sure that we can get it out there and try to help them out. You can always get a hold of me at my Linktree. It's Linktree/Zach Clayton. Next week, my Linktree will be replaced by my card for you. And it's just getting finished up. It's looking great, and they are a brand new partner. So we're bringing on a new partner, and Linktree is going to be gone, and my card for you is going to be here in their place. Now, here we go. Once again, my Linktree. I want to thank everyone who joined me tonight. Okay, everyone did such a wonderful job, and we heard Stop Shaken Baby Syndrome. Some of the stories are just tragic. Some of the stories are really, really hard to hear. But all the stories, there's hope behind it, because we can together make a huge difference by using this little QR code here. Going in there, buying a couple bottles of wine instead of going to your local liquor store. Grabbing a couple bottles of wine, taking it to your family, buy some gifts. Once again, they've got a wooden box that you can have etched. You can have bottles that are etched. You can have personalized labels put on them. There's amazing things that they can do with your wonderful bottles of wine. But the most amazing thing that they can do with your bottle of wine is help stop shaken baby syndrome this month when you use this code to order your wine. So please remember, if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. Nobody has to go it alone when we all come together. My name is Zach Clayton, right? Still, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PACT channels. I hope that we can get you to join us this coming up week. Wow, I don't know why I just squeaked right there, but this coming up weekend at the Chili Cook-Off and Toy Drive. If you're in Colorado, if you're in Wyoming, come on. It's not that big of a state. Let's go. Get here. Let's have some fun. It's going to be a good time. Always is. So, but got one more little information for you about joining the fun and sharing the love. And after that, we're gone for the week. We'll be back on Friday. We'll talk to you then. Thank you very much. Please remember to love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you very much. Have a great weekend. Take care. Remember, we're all we got. Let's take care of each other, folks. Goodbye.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me Show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.